Sufi vibes. I would like to present presentation on two couplets of Bilati Bitai from Surasa, and I would try my best to present my thesis linguistically and philosophically. What thoughts have been presented and in which form it is presented. That is Shah Latif's skill and craft and its genius that has enabled all of his readers, listeners, and watchers and watching people to think it over and to think it over creatively, differently, and alternatively. And Surasa has different aspects and different dimensions, focusing on love or ishq. They move towards ilm or knowledge and human interaction and such other things. So it is very diversified sur in the poetry of Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai. Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai focuses on unity in diversity and diversity in unity, or retrieval of or reversal of diversity into unity. So he says, कोड़े कायाऊं तुंजूं लखें लख हजार, कोड़े कायाऊं तुंजूं लखें लख हजार, जीव सबके जीअ से दर्शन धारो धार, प्रेम तुंजा पार केड़ा चई केड़ा चवा. कोड़े कायाऊं तुंजूं, there are countless bodies that are yours. लखें लख हजार, they are millions upon millions. जीव सब जीअ सां, every being possesses life. दर्शन धारो धार, yet each manifests you in a unique way. Priyam tunja par keda chai keda chawa. Oh beloved, how can I ever describe the limitless dimension of your love and attributes? So it is unity in diversity or vadat in kasrat. This bait is finest mystical expression in Surasa, where Shah Abdul Latif Bhitai portrays the infinite divine manifesting through innumerable forms of creation. The Bait reflects the Sufi doctrine that entire universe is a mirror of divine reality, while God's essence remains beyond complete human comprehension. Bhitai's poetry consistently combines vernacular Sindhi with profound mystical symbolism rooted in Sufi philosophy. So, firstly, its lexical analysis or profile. Kode, countless or crores. It is hyperbolic numeral expressing infinity. Bodies, forms, manifestations. It symbolizes physics. Jeev, soul or life, represents the spiritual principle. Darshan, vision or manifestation. Sanskrit derived word indicating revelation or appearance. Dharo dhar, distantly, differently, separately, expresses diversity within unity. Prem, my love, divine love, central Sufi concept inherited from Indic devotional vocabulary. Par, limit, boundary are the symbols. Morphologically, if we are looking on this bait, then kode or lakhe are plural numeral adjectives emphasizing immeasurability. But I tries to represent immeasurability for explanation of the unity. Kayam is a plural noun indicating innumerable embodiments. Ji functions as the singular sense emotions common to all beings. Dharodhar is a reduplication adverbial expression that intensifies individuality. Keda chai, keda chawa is the rhetorical expressing the impossibility of exhaustive syntax progresses through three syntactic movements. First line, enumeration of infinite manifestations. Second line, contrast between one universal life, infinite individual appearance. And third line, a rhetorical confession of linguistic inadequacy before divine infinity. The progression moves from observation to realization and then to the mystical silence. Stylistic devices used by Shabdulati Vitai are hyperbole, कोड़े लखें हजार, numbers lose mathematical value and become symbol of infinite, contrast, unity of soul, diversity of forms. Rhetorical question, केड़ा चाहिए केड़ा छवा? It shows that divine reality exceeds language and it creates wonder. Semantic analysis of this bait, it has semantic levels three semantic levels operate simultaneously in this bait. First is physical level. Countless bodies populate creation. First step. Then spiritual level. The same divine life animates every being. Jeev sabke jiyasa. And the third mystical level. Every creature manifests one aspect of God, but no single manifestation encompasses the divine totality. Thus, the poem moves from multiplicity to unity to ineffability. Philosophical analysis of this bait is that it represents Wahdatul Wujud, or unity of being. The bait echoes the doctrine associated with Ibn Arabi. The bait echoes the doctrine of Ibn Arabi, infinite bodies, one divine reality. Multiplicity is appearance, unity is essence. The universe is not separate from God, but a manifestation of divine names, Zat and Safat. Divine immanence, the verse Jiyu Sabke Jiyasa suggests every living being carrying divine breath. Jiyu Sabke Jiyasa. Every existence reflects God. कोड़े कायाऊं तुंहिंजूं लखें लख हजार या प्रेम तुंहिंजा पार केड़ा चई केड़ा चवां. Every soul becomes a mirror of divine presence. This parallels the Quranic idea that God continually reveals his signs in creation. Diversity as divine expression. The phrase darshan dharo dhar means that every being reflects God differently. Mountains reveal majesty, flowers reveal beauty, oceans reveal infinity, human compassion reveals mercy, wisdom reveals divine knowledge. No manifestation is identical. There is diversity. And all the diversities root back unity or one being. Epistemology. The last line asks, Keda chai? This expresses the limit of human knowledge. Human knowledge has limitations. It cannot express about that divine reality. It only expresses the observance, the experience, or the conception. Nothing more than that. According to Sufi epistemology, rational knowledge or ilm is limited. Mystical experience or marfa is deeper than it. Divine essence remains beyond complete comprehension. The seeker ultimately arrives at wonder rather than certainty. Ontological perspective of this bait distinguish between essence, one eternal reality, appearance, infinite, changing forms, thus bodies change, souls continue, God alone remains absolute. This reflects the Sufi distinction between the transient or fana and the eternal or baka. Language and mysticism. The final verse illustrates the paradox of mystical language. The mystic speaks because of love. The mystic falls silent because truth exceeds speech. Hence, Keda Chai Keda Chava becomes an acknowledgement that language cannot fully contain the infinite. Comparative perspective. Different thinkers have already reflected on that thought. As Ibn Arabi focused on unity of being, Maulana Jalaluddin Rumi, every atom reflects the beloved. Al-Halaj or Mansur Halaj, divine presence within the creation. Baruch Spinoza, one infinite substance expressed in many modes. Adi Shankaracharya, ultimate reality appears as multiplicity through manifestation. Contemporary relevance of this Beth is very much pertinent. Bethai's vision offers insights for modern society in terms of religious pluralism, as diversity reflects one transcendent source. Environmental ethics. Nature is sacred because it manifests the divine. Human dignity. Every person carries intrinsic spiritual worth, so he or she must be respected and honored as a human being. Intercultural harmony. Difference is not opposition, but varied expression of the same reality. Humility is knowledge. Human understanding remains partial before infinite. And concluding all of this discussion, we can say that the Beth of Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai presents most profound mystical thought. Infinite forms reveal one divine reality. Every living being manifests a unique aspect of God. Divine love transcends all conceptual boundaries. Language reaches its limit before infinite truth. True wisdom culminates in awe, humility, and spiritual realization. Central message of this Beth is multiplicity belongs to creation, unity belongs to creator, every soul is a mirror, yet no mirror can encompass the whole sun. That is the gist of this Beth. And this Beth concludes all of the thesis about unity in diversity in only 3 lines. As its first line describes Kode Kaya Tunjum Lakhe Lakh Hazar. It describes as an observer. Then it explains the gist of observance, that what it is. Jeev sabke jiye se darshan dharo dhar. Every body has a spirit, has a soul. However, everyone is looked differently. And then concludes Prem Tunja Par Keda Chai Keda Chava. It means whatsoever you are, or the definition of yours, I cannot narrate. Words are limited. So it is wonder to understand that thing. In this way, Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai says much more about this unity and diversity. Then other Beth is of similar doctrine, that is about sound and its echo, and it reflects that sound is the principal being and echo is its reflection. So padado so sad var vaya jo jelai. So padado so sad var vaya jo jelai. That is the echo, that is the original ka. If you discover the subtle turn, hidden meaning of the melody, हुआ आगे ई गॾु ॿुधण में ॿ थिया. They were together from the very beginning. Only in hearing do they appear as two. It is because of hearing they are neither two, they are one. So this faith is one of Shah Abdul Latif's profound expression of Wahdatul Wujud, unity of being, where apparent duality dissolves into essential unity. The imagery of sound and echo is used as a metaphysical symbol rather than merely an acoustic phenomenon. Bitai frequently employs natural symbols to express mystical truths and inseparability of the creator and creation. Linguistic analysis of this bait is that Padado, echo, manifestation, reflection of existence, the universe. Sad, call, original voice, divine command, as it was kun fayakun, divine command, eternal reality. Var, secret turn, subtle twist or hidden meaning, esoteric interpretation. Why, melody, song, mystical utterance. It means divine revelation, spiritual discourse. Lahe, to discover, to find out, spiritual realization. Agahi, beforehand, originally, primordial existence. Gad, together, unity of being. Buddhan means hearing, and mystical connotation is human perception. Ba, two, apparent multiplicity. Syntactic structure of this bait is built upon a paradox. So padado, so sad. That is the echo, that is the sound. Demonstrative repetition of that equates echo with sound. Grammatically, two nouns are presented separately. Semantically, they refer to one reality, and that reality is sound. The second line explains the paradox. It means they are not different, they are not separate, they were already together. In final clause, Buddhana mein Bathya introduces the distinction as merely perceptual, not the real. Thus, the syntax itself enacts the movement from duality to unity or certainty. Phonological features of this bait can be said that Bitai creates musicality through repetition, and repeated sounds are so sad, so padado, so sad. Padado, why? They are very much rhythmic words, and recurrence of scene, and they produce an audible resonance imitating a phenomenon of echo. The sound pattern reinforces the meaning itself. The semantic symbolism in this bait is the metaphor is exceptionally rich. Original sound, and then divine reality, then echo, universe. The echo has no independent existence. He clarifies that echo has no independent existence, as echo is the culmination or production of sound. Without sound, echo does not exist even. No separate source, no autonomous identity. Its existence depends entirely on the original voice. Likewise, creation depends completely upon God. Philosophically, if we are looking on this bait, then it also reflects on Wahdatul Wujud. The central doctrine of multiplicity is only apparent. The universe resembles a reflection in a mirror, echo of voice, shadow of an object. It possesses dependent existence. Only the divine possesses absolute existence. This aligns with the broader mystical theme that scholars identify throughout Shah Latif's poetry. Ontological duality versus essential unity. Human perception says voice, echo, two entities. Mystical realization says one phenomenon. Likewise, creator and creation appear separate, yet creation is merely the manifestation of divine reality. Epistemologically, the phrase varvaya jo jela hai means if you discover the hidden turn of melody, hidden twist of melody, knowledge is therefore of two kinds. Ordinary hearing produces multiplicity. Inner hearing or sama reveals unity. Thus, Bitaille distinguishes sensory perception from spiritual perception. The role of perception. The final line says, Buddhana mein batya. They became two only in hearing. Notice that he does not say they became two in reality. Instead, he says they became two only within human consciousness. They are neither two. The distinction is epistemological rather than ontological. Echo as symbol of manifestation. An echo possesses borrowed existence, borrowed sound, borrowed identity. It never belongs to itself. Similarly, creation has borrowed existence, borrowed beauty, borrowed life, borrowed knowledge. Everything ultimately belongs to the God. Sufi interpretation of this Ved can be said that it has three spiritual stages. Stage 1, the seeker hears many voices. Multiplicity dominates. Stage 2, the seeker begins to recognize a hidden connection. Echo points towards the source, creation points towards the creator. Stage 3, the seeker realizes that there never were two, there were always one. Comparative mysticism, if we are looking on different thoughts in this regard, then Bitaille's metaphor parallels several major mystical traditions, as tradition in the writings of Ibn Arabi, Wahdatul Wujud, unity of being, Jalaluddin Rumi, as he says, the reed flute song returning to its source, Upanishad, Tattvam Asi, thou art that, glutinous emanation from one, Major Eckhart, the soul's union with God. The shared insight is that plurality is an appearance arising from a single transcendent source. Literary excellence of this Beth is very much immense and wonderful and interesting. The Beth demonstrates several literary devices, extended metaphor, sound and echo, paradox, one appearing as two, symbolism, echo signifies a creation, a repetition emphasizes unity, musical structure mirrors the phenomenon described, mystical ambiguity, accessible on both literal and esoteric levels. Contemporary relevance of this bed. This is very much pertinent and relevant to the modern or contemporary age, to the challenges of this era. This faith is very much relevant today because it speaks to interfaith harmony. All diversity shares one ultimate source. Environmental ethics, nature is viewed as manifestation of the divine, encouraging reverence rather than exploitation. Social cohesion, deviance of race, religion, and nationality are secondary to the underlying unity of humanity. Psychological insight, many conflicts arise from perceiving separation where deeper interconnectedness exists. If we would conclude all of the discussion of this Ved, then this is very much beautiful and most concise expression of metaphysical unity. Through the simple image of sound and echo, he compresses an entire philosophy of existence in two lines. The echo symbolizes the manifested universe, while the original call symbolizes the divine reality. They seem separate only from the standpoint of ordinary perception. In truth, they have never been apart. The final line, they were together already, only in hearing did they become two, captures the essence of Sufi realization. Duality belongs to perception, whereas unity belongs to reality. So that is very pertinent couplet of Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai, as you have watched me explaining these two couplets of Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai, and in the last I would like to recite again both the couplets. First couplet or bait was कोड़े कायाऊं तुंजूं लखें लख हजार जीव सबके जी सां दर्शन धारो धार प्रेम तुंजा पार केड़ा चई केड़ा चवा सो पड़ाडो सो सद वर वाय जो जे लहे हो आगे ही गड बुधण में बथिया. Thank you very much. You have watched me. Kindly watch this beautiful thoughts presented by Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai and give your invaluable suggestions in this regard, how we can improve these things much more for good discussions throughout the world, how we can utilize the message of Shah Abdul Latif around the globe. Thank you very much.